King Philippe and Queen Mathilde of the Belgians host a New Year reception in Brussels. Queen Camilla of the United Kingdom visits the Grenadier Guards in Aldershot. Princess Sirivannavari of Thailand opens an exhibition in Sorin. And Queen Letizia of Spain chairs a meeting in Petrer. All this and much more coming up next on your Royal Daily News. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Alexandra, and this is your Royal Daily News for January 31st, 2023. In Brussels, Their Majesties King Philippe and Queen Mathilde of the Belgians, accompanied by Her Imperial and Royal Highness Princess Astrid of Belgium, Archduchess of Austria-Este, hosted a New Year reception for Belgian federal and regional authorities held at the Palais Royal. During this morning's reception, His Majesty the King gave a speech highlighting the achievements made by Belgian authorities in the year 2022, law and order in Belgium, the war in Ukraine, the environment, the economy, and international politics and diplomacy. Quote, "Our diplomacy will continue to benefit from the support of the Queen, Princess Astrid, and myself, to place our country on the map of Europe and the world. Over the next few months, we will increase our trips abroad, whether to help our economic players find new international outlets or to defend the Sustainable Development Goals." End quote. In Amsterdam, RVD released new photos of Her Royal Highness Princess Beatrix of the Netherlands on the occasion of her 85th birthday. The lovely images of the princess were taken by Dutch photographer Miss Jemmy Wood Binnendijk at the Palais Noordeinde in Den Haag in December 2022. Born at Palais Soestdijk in Baarn in 1938, Princess Beatrix is the eldest child of the late Queen Juliana and Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands. On March 10, 1966, Princess Beatrix married Klaus George Wilhelm Otto Friedrich Gerd von Amsberg, and together they had three sons, Prince Willem Alexander, Prince Johann Frieso, and Prince Constantine. On April 30, 1980, a turbulent time in the Netherlands, Princess Beatrix became the Queen of the Netherlands. On April 30, 2013, she abdicated in favor of her son, Prince Willem Alexander. After her abdication, her style and title returned to HRH and Princess. On October 6, 2002, her husband, Prince Klaus, passed away. He was 76 years old. On August 12, 2013, her son, Prince Johann Frieso, passed away after a skiing accident 18 months earlier in Lich, Austria. He was 44 years old. Today, Princess Beatrix lives at Drakenstein Castle in the province of Utrecht, and she still carries out official engagements, including her recent attendance at the traditional New Year receptions alongside Their Majesties King Willem-Alexander and Queen Maxima. Meanwhile, Their Majesties King Willem-Alexander and Queen Maxima of the Netherlands, accompanied by their daughter, Her Royal Highness Princess Catharina Amalia, Princess of Rania, continued their visit to the island of Aruba. The day began with a hike at the Arecoke National Park. Covering roughly 20% of the island, the Arecoke National Park has many rare species, trees, and plants that are indigenous to the island. During the hike, the royal family spent time with junior rangers, whereupon they were informed about the maintenance and management of the national park. The royal family also met with directors and producers who are currently filming a new nature documentary about the islands of the Dutch Caribbean. Thereafter, the royal family visited the Royal Aruba Aloe Farm. Established in 1890 by Miss Cornelius Emmon, the Royal Aruba Aloe Farm is the, quote, first company with a designation of, quote-unquote, royal in the Caribbean part of the Dutch kingdom, and one of the first and few aloe companies in the world that grows, harvests, and processes its aloe on site, end quote. The aloe is considered the finest aloe in the world and is the base for the company's ever-growing collection of premium skin, hair, and sun care products. In the late afternoon, the royal family visited the University of Aruba, where they sat in on a lecture regarding the, quote, characteristics of Caribbean law, end quote. Then they took a pop quiz. Ugh, I hate those. Anyway, after the lecture, the royal family had a chance to meet and mingle with students, professors, and faculty about, quote, small island education, sustainability, career opportunities, and non-college education in Aruba." End quote. In Petrer, Her Majesty Queen Letizia of Spain chaired the second meeting of the Network of Direct Care Centers and Specialized Services of the Federación Española de Enfermedades Raras, held at the SBC Center. Upon her arrival, Her Majesty the Queen, accompanied by the Secretary of State for Health, Miss Silvia Calzon, was warmly welcomed by local government officials and the President of the FEDER, Mr. Juan Caron. Thereafter, Her Majesty the Queen was given a tour of the SB Daycare Center, where she was informed about the services offered as well as, quote, observed firsthand several classrooms and the multi-sensory room, end quote. The purpose of today's meeting was to present to Her Majesty the Queen the work carried out by the, quote, 12 entities that make up the FEDER through its 16 direct care centers and specialized services for the people with rare diseases and their families, end quote. After the tour, the meeting began with participation from various representatives of the FEDER and the SB Daycare Center employees. In Barcelona, His Majesty King Felipe VI of Spain presided over the inauguration of the 2023 Integrated Systems Europe (ISE) and the IoT Solutions World Congress Fair. Established in 2004, the Integrated Systems Europe (ISE) is the largest AV systems integration show in the world, with over 1,300 exhibitors. The annual 4-day event is organized and run by the Integrated Systems Events. Upon his arrival, His Majesty the King was warmly welcomed by various local government officials and the Executive Director of the Integrated Systems Europe, Mr. Mike Blackman. After a bunch of highs, hellos, hey, how are ya, and hey, it's good to see you, His Majesty the King finally had a chance to tour the famous fair, including visits to exhibitor booths of Google, Lutron, Shure, Panasonic, Barcelona, and Matrox, to name a few. In the Exhibition Hall 4, His Majesty the King was welcomed by the humanoid robot from PAL Robotics. Thereafter, His Majesty the King began his tour of the IoT Solutions World Congress Fair, where he visited the Amazon, TX1, KNX, and Barcelona City Hall pavilions. In the afternoon, His Majesty the King presided over the delivery of offices to 171 magistrates of the 74th promotion of the judicial career held at the Barcelona Convention Center. In Aldershot, Her Majesty the Queen Consort of the United Kingdom, as a new colonel of the Grenadier Guards, visited the Grenadier Guards at the Lille barracks. During today's visit, Her Majesty the Queen Consort met with members of the 1st Battalion and their families, as well as presided over a presentation of medals. In Madrid, His Imperial Highness Grand Duke George of Russia recently sat down for an exclusive interview with HOLA Magazine. In the interview, the Madrid-born 41-year-old Grand Duke discusses his life growing up in Spain, his relationship with King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia of Spain, the passing of his quote-unquote Uncle Constantine, his newborn son Prince Alexander, his wife Princess Victoria Romanovna, and his recent move to Moscow, Russia. When asked how he and his family have been received in Russia, the Grand Duke replies, quote, I have to say that with great affection and great interest. The Russian people are very knowledgeable about their history. When the regime fell after years of communism and having a closed culture, the country invested enormously in its religion and its history. Thus, there was a very strong hunger to know its history, its culture, and its roots. So, it's very exciting for its people when history is talked about again, and we are a part of it. For this reason, they have a lot of affection and appreciation for us. End quote. The Grand Duke was also asked about what does it mean to him about being the heir to the quote-unquote Russian throne. The Grand Duke replies, quote, For me, it is an enormous family responsibility, which my grandparents and my parents have passed on to me. I see that we represent history from a family and a time in history of Russia. For me, obviously, it is a responsibility and a duty to help and be present, obviously, in the capacity that we now have to live. If the Russian people need my help, I will always be ready. And ready. End quote. If you're interested in reading the interview with His Imperial Highness Grand Duke George of Russia, in the description box below, I will leave a direct link to HOLA Magazine. Oh, and it's in Spanish. In Washington, D.C., Their Majesties King Abdullah II and Queen Rania of Jordan, accompanied by His Royal Highness Crown Prince Al Hussein bin Abdullah II of Jordan, met with the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, Kevin McCarthy, on Capitol Hill. Thereafter, His Majesty the King and the Crown Prince held a meeting with members of the Military Services Committee. On Thursday, His Majesty the King will meet with the President of the United States of America, Joseph R. Biden, at the White House. The goal of the meeting, according to the Royal Hashemite Court, is to bolster the strategic partnership and deep-rooted ties of friendship between Jordan and the United States through expanding cooperation across various sectors. On Monday, in Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the ruler of Dubai, officially opened the 2023 Arab Health Exhibition and Congress, held at the Dubai World Trade Center. In Sorin, Her Royal Highness Princess Sirivannavari of Thailand visited the Northeastern Thai Textile Exhibition held at the Raja Mangala University of Technology, Isan, Sorin campus. The exhibition showcases local art and handicrafts. On Saturday evening in Buckelburg, Germany, Prince Alexander of Schaumburg-Lippe's famous restaurant, Lilly's, located at Schloss Buckelburg Park, caught on fire and destroyed the entire building. In a social media post, the popular prince said, quote, "Lilly's was, for a long time, primarily a meeting point for musicians. The jam sessions there were legendary. This is also a personal loss for me. In 1997, I built this once and very successful bar and restaurant with Schaumburg's largest beer garden with all my heart and soul. The opening concert with Inga Rumpf and the Johanna Wendt Quartet remained an absolute highlight of the cultural life in Buckelburg. Numerous European football and world championships drew hundreds to Lilly's and the beer gardens, and led to many happy feasts. Will it all be just a memory now? And was it arson?" End quote. Interesting. Poor guy. And finally, in Stockholm, Her Majesty Queen Silvia of Sweden, accompanied by Her Royal Highness Crown Princess Victoria of Sweden, hosted a diplomatic reception at the Kungliga Slottet. The ambassadors from the Republic of Tunisia, the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, the Argentine Republic, the Republic of India, the Dominican Republic, and the Republic of Kazakhstan were among the guests. Unfortunately, His Majesty King Carl Gustaf of Sweden did not attend this evening's reception. In a press release, the Swedish Royal Court noted that His Majesty the King was still suffering from a cold and has not yet fully recovered. The Swedish Royal Court goes on to note that His Majesty the King is on the road to recovery and that he is expected to carry out an official engagement, which is a medal presentation to take place at the Royal Palace, on Wednesday. And there you have it. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will be back tomorrow on Wednesday, February 1st. My goodness, is it already February? Jeez Louise. With all the latest royal news. Until then, I wish you all a wonderful evening and a great day tomorrow. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Okay, take care, everyone. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.